losing a child is one of the toughest things a parent can ever go through.
But even in some of the darkest times, light will find a way to shine through. News 19's Lauren Layton spoke with an organization that's there with the parents during their toughest time to help them. She's here in the studio with us tonight to share a special story.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but it can be worth more when you can't find the words to say. Grief can leave us in that place, at a loss for words for others and for ourselves. The death of a newborn is an unspeakable tragedy. That's where the photography nonprofit Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep comes in, helping those families remember every detail of their baby without needing to speak a single word. A photograph freezes a moment in time, tying us to that memory and those we shared it with. For Charlie and Laura Deffenbaugh, pictures serve as a bond to their children.
There you go.
From walking on the beach with Luke and Nora to Christmases with Santa, memories line the walls of their home, preserving a lifetime of moments. However short that life may have been. The Deffenbaughs lost baby Charlotte in 2015.
I hadn't felt her move, like decreased fetal movement, and the nurses confirmed, and a physician, that she had passed away.
They lost Henry in 2017.
In the middle of the night before I was scheduled to be induced, I had a placental abruption. Henry died as soon as the abruption happened.
But just like Luke and Nora, Charlotte and Henry have their baby pictures on the walls.
Pictures are important to us, and we definitely wanted to have those memories.
The photographs were taken by an organization called Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep. It offers remembrance portraits free of cost to families who lost a newborn. Photographers with the nonprofit are near hospitals all over the country, including women and children in Huntsville.
They're not just the last pictures, they're generally the only pictures that they can show to other people.
Photographer Bert Rich took the photos when Laura lost Charlotte.
Her heart was just radiating out of her face. The pain and the love simultaneously for what she was going through, seeing this baby laying on her lap. It grabs me, I'll tell you.
When you leave the hospital, you're empty-handed. It's just so important what they do, because it gives families and parents something to hold on to.
For that reason, Bert does all he can to capture characteristics for mothers like Laura.
The shape of their ears, how their hands are shaped, how the eyelashes are, top of the head, so that mom can see what the hair pattern was. They get the details of the baby that moms always want to remember.
And omit the details they don't.
Lightening up the toes a little bit.
The photos undergo an editing process before the family sees them.
The color view shows all the pain involved, whereas our pictures are gently retouched. The trauma of delivery has been removed.
Because the purpose is to provide comfort.
I just talk with them and tell them that these are studio quality pictures in black and white or sepia, and that you don't ever have to look at them. But we have to do this now if you're ever going to have these. Taking a picture like so.
By his side for too many shoots to count has been NICU nurse Beth Kirby.
We have really terrible experiences when a baby dies. Nobody wants that. We can't fix everything. All that we can do in those moments is do everything we can to make them feel as much of a family as they can be.
For her, providing that feeling is a personal mission.
Before I became a nurse, my husband and I had a loss, and the nurses were wonderful here at Huntsville taking care of us and took pictures of our son, but we didn't have Now Lay Me Down to Sleep back then.
Beth says she comforts these women mother to mother.
Many times it feels like no one wants to talk about your baby if your baby has passed. And so being able to say, I did have a baby, he was so important to me, let me show you his pictures, that's such a gift to them.
Bert says the shoots are about meeting these women where they are.
I would say over 90% of the time when mom has not wanted to be in the pictures, when I finish the baby-only pictures 10 feet away from her and then pull the baby over and say, Mom, can I borrow your hand? And she'll hold the baby's hand. Before long, she's feeling the toes. At that point, moms do what moms do, and that's the most natural thing in the world.
It was God's will, but my heart is still broken. It's still so broken.
Fern Jones lost her daughter, Jace Noel, in 2013. Bert was her photographer.
She had a little heart murmur, and she was given an aspirin, and it ended up blowing a hole in her intestines, which leaked into her body.
Bert says the goal with any shoot is to be invisible, but with sessions like Fern's, humanity creeps in.
Her session was in this room. When I was taking pictures, I was trying to keep track of how she was doing, and I looked up and I could tell there were tears running down her cheeks. And you know, this is a person that I just met 30 minutes before, and I looked up at her and I said, Fern, could you use a hug right now? And she said, I sure could.
Like Fern, Bert knows loss.
My oldest grandson passed away in 2010.
TJ was 19 when he died, 2 years after receiving a cancer diagnosis.
I did a lot of photography during those 2 years.
Bert's grieving process led him to Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep, and soon after, to Fern.
He told me about his own experience with his grandson, and he basically told me that it would be amazing to me later. I might not appreciate it at that moment because of my grief. And he was absolutely correct. It changed my life.
Fern says there aren't words to talk about a child who's died, but having those pictures to show changed everything.
If you go on the Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep website, you will see us, and it's part of her legacy. He basically brought her back to life in a way, in a form. And so she's forever going to live on because of what Mr. Bert did for me.
God knows who to send to what family.
Bert still keeps in touch with many of his families.
Really priceless.
He's worked with more than 200 at this point, and he remembers every one.
I can visualize the babies and the parents because it means so much to me. The story is important. It's there, and the love that was in the room is definitely in those images.
Shared grief can connect total strangers, allowing them to see the hardest parts of life through a mutual lens, a lens that makes those frozen memories a little more bearable.
It gives you peace knowing that they'll never be forgotten.
You are laying your loved one, your baby, to rest. There's no more. But those pictures give you something to hold on. It gives you things to treasure. It's a gift.
They're priceless to me. Priceless, truly.
And Bert is one of the most incredible people I've ever met. And these families echo that. His work and friendship is real and raw. And you can sense his passion for the mission just from a single conversation. He's been recognized for his passion nationally. And he's gonna be mad at me for talking about him because he doesn't care about any of that. He cares about getting photos to families. And he says right now, Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep needs help. They're short on photographers and editors. He says if a photographer can donate time to even just one shoot a year, it can be so helpful. The nonprofit has a training program if you want to get involved but don't know where to start. We have all of the information you need to know on our website, WHNT.com.